So this is the Gerber Gator FEDP, which stands for Fine Edge and Drop Point. Tom sent me this over from Thomas Jacks. They're distributing them now in the UK. And he said, oh, just have a bit of a look and do a bit of a review. I'm not sure this is something I would choose as my first skinning knife, to be honest. But in terms of hide building and stuff, this could be quite a good option. I think they're retailing for about 50 quid at the moment. You can see the sort of the gumph of them hit here, if I can find them. This is the one, and you see they do a full range, they do folding versions, that sort of thing. Now, these are made in China, so they're not going to be their most premium end, rather than some of their other blades, which are a lot more money, that are made in Portland. But I do believe it has 420 HC steel. It doesn't actually tell you on the handle or anything, but I haven't, must admit, read up on that steel particularly. I'm sure some of you knife guys will be able to tell me all about that. But my first impressions of this steel is probably that it's not great, but I may well be proven wrong. And I say that because this is like a demo knife. Let me get a bit of a close up there. This is really came to me completely blunt. Now, as I said, they wouldn't be if you just bought one, but the ones that are tested are, sent on test, are pretty blunt. So I just ran it over my Spyderco sharp maker, and I ran it over each corner of the stone and the flat of each stone. Fairly standard sharpening, about 25 passes, so not a huge amount. And then I ran it over my strop, and this now is like a scalpel. It's insanely sharp for something this size, and in considering how easily I did it. And to show that, if I've got any hair left on my arm, you should be able to see. Should have some there. It's properly shaving sharp. See? Now, my impressions of that, you might think would be good, but if it's so soft that it comes to me that blunt, and with that level of sharpening it gets that sharp, I've got a feeling it's going to roll over when I start testing it. Now, this isn't really this. I mean, you could probably, it probably would make a good skinning knife. I mean, it's hollow ground, so it's got a bit of heft to it. Not as much heft on the spine as, say, my Eka swing blade, but this isn't really specifically designed for that purpose. It's more of a utilitarian, general knife. But what I might use something like this for is like hide building, making tent pegs for pegging down the netting, that sort of thing, or cutting foliage. Now, I'm not building a hide today, and I haven't got any deer to skin, but I do have to sort of burn a lot of stuff at my dad's. Strangely, a lot of the time, utility bills and things. I don't know if any of you guys have that, where you just end up with piles and piles of rubbish through your letterbox, or like bank statements that you don't even need or ask for. So often I have to burn them. So yeah, let's get this into the field and into the garden, and see if we can sort of split a bit of wood, do some feathering, and see how it performs. So here we are. This is aged, hardened oak. So let's just see if we can split this. We might be asking a bit much, but we shall see. Well, so it does the job. Just about. So if there's any damage on here from that. No noticeable chipping. We can get that to focus. Still looking alright. So let's just try another bit. Must admit, it's taking a bit of effort, but to be honest, in fairness, this is really hard wood. Still looking alright. So I may have to eat my words here, actually. And to be fair, I mean, this is a bit extreme. This isn't something you would normally do. Everyone always does this testing. I don't know if you've noticed this. Everyone always does splitting wood, and really, just get a bloody axe. you're not going to do it, but it is a good test because obviously, if it stands up to that, then that's pretty robust as a blade. And as I said, I'm not sure if it's full tang. I don't think it is. I think it's probably a stick tang, but yeah, probably similar to a Mora, probably a bit more robust, I'd have thought. I've got to find out. So you've got some sticks now. Let's see if they'll, after doing that to it, if it will feather. I'm sure some of you guys are much better at this than I am, but let's see how this bites into it. It is struggling a little bit, but it's important to bear in mind that this is hardwood and it's aged, so in a way it's a bit of a harsh test, but it's cutting into it now. It'll be interesting to see after doing all this what it's like. It's not bad. That's really more probably my lack of skill than the knife. But yeah, either way, I'll do a few more of these, and then I'll see how well they take a flame. So let's see how well they take a flame. Seems to be doing the job. And then looking at the edge, I'm not seeing any chipping at all. So I've got some hair left. Let's see what it's like. And that's still popping hairs. I hate to say it, I'm quite impressed. So then, to coin a phrase from the very famous, nothing fancy, very cheesy phrase, what is the philosophy of use? Well, I would say whatever. Anything you want, really. I wouldn't buy this over my Aka for skinning. I wouldn't probably actually buy it over my Mora for like woodwork. But this can do both. Now, I must admit, I'm not one of these guys who like talks about this sort of ultimate knife that can do everything, because I think the minute you go down that road, you're going to have something that's a jack of all trades and a master of none. So you should have the right tool for the right job. But it is at the same time always good to have a general purpose knife that you can just abuse. Do whatever it is you need to do with it. I'm not going to put my skinning knife anywhere near wood, for instance. There are things that I'm not going to use those knives for because they're not the appropriate tool. But for this, at a pinch, just whatever, strap it to your pack, just do what you need to do. Now, before anybody asks, I'm not shilling for Gerber here. In fact, I was sure I was going to end up saying that this was crap. And I'm not getting to keep this either. I'm going to give it back. And in fact, that's why Tom has been urging me to do this video, because he's like, come on, I need this back now. But it is actually a lot better than I thought. The edge on this is incredible. You saw how sharp it was, and that really was no work at all. And it was so suspiciously easy to get so sharp that I was sure it wasn't going to hold up. But even after quite a bit of abuse, and I'm still just looking at the bevel now, I see no signs of rolling or chipping or anything like that. And that was like, as I said, aged oak. That's proper hardwood that I was splitting, and that's something you shouldn't use any knife for anyway. So as I said, if you just need something that just does the job for these like 45 quid or something like that, you can't really go wrong. But let me know what you think. I'm sure you've all got your own opinions, and I've never been a big Gerber guy by any means, but actually this is, for the money, is